listening to Song of the Sea for the month of May, so we began our drive to LAX. It'll be a while until we see skyscrapers again, so we soaked in the view. Then we arrived.
All of the chaos, all of the cars.
Once we could finally get a spot, we quickly took out all of our luggage.
All of our bags.
We're
we have
taking our Starlink back because our Starlink broke, so we took the old Starlink home. We got the replacement, so we're now taking the...
And we're taking some ropes and other stuff. As usual, both ports.
Then we hugged goodbye to my Uncle Robert who drove with us and started on our way.
I love LAX. One of my favorite places ever.
Really?
Actually, yes.
And I love the smell of the airport, the smell of the adventure.
We walked in with many other people and found the line for Fiji Airways.
Fiji, 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 Fiji.
Of course, after we got through check-in and security, we walked through the airport until we got to our gate. It was 11:30 p.m. when we boarded our first flight, all sitting next to each other. The plane took off into the beautiful night sky. I mainly slept on the way using a blanket and pillow provided. The flight was 11 hours long, so we also ate. Once the sun rose, we sure were in for a treat. The clouds created so many views that were simply jaw-dropping. Then we began to see islands as we passed over Fiji, which actually has over 300 islands in it. Today, this plane was going to Fiji's capital island, which is called Viti Levu. We specifically landed in the city called Nadi.
So we're out of the plane.
They welcomed us with singing, and then we went to the baggage claim because we needed to recheck in our luggage for the next flight.
Walking out, we feel the warm tropical air.
Now we've arrived in Nadi, and in California time, it would be noon on Tuesday, but here in Fiji, it's about 7 a.m. in the morning on Wednesday. So yeah, the time zone shenanigans are crazy, but we're so excited. We have to wait for 5 hours before we can take our little plane to Savu Savu. So meantime, we're gonna be in the airport, and it's a beautiful area.
For context, we were here in Nadi, and we needed to get to Savu Savu on another island called Vanuatu. So during the layover, we ate some incredible food at a restaurant in the airport. Then, when the time came, we went to the domestic terminal. Here you have to stand on the scale with your carry-on to be weighed. Why? Well, the plane to Savu Savu is so tiny that your seat is assigned by your weight. Literally, there are only 19 seats on the flight, and you can see the two pilots in front of you. It's really cool. Then we lifted off the ground and took off into flight. My eyes and camera were glued to the window. Seriously, the flight was only an hour long, but it brought so many mind-blowing views that it felt like I was watching an entire nature documentary. There were winding rivers on islands, cities that spread out far and wide with a beautiful blanket of clouds far above them. We even passed through a cloud, which got me excited. There were a huge amount of reefs as well. These coral formations can barely be seen when you're sailing at ocean level, but from an aerial view, you can see them so phenomenally. Maybe one day we'll snorkel at those areas. Also, many islands had unique shapes, like this one that reminded me of a heart. Eventually, we got to Vanuatu, passing over its cities and green mountains. Approaching the coast where Savu Savu is, we could see Naui Marina. I'm telling you, I could even see Song of the Sea at the dock there. We were so close and yet so far. We continued to the Savu Savu airport, decreasing our altitude until we finally hit the ground.
So now the ride is over. Time to get on out.
We already had a great sailing friend of ours waiting for us, so after hugs, we got into taxis that he arranged for us.
And the last step is to take the ferry all the way to Naui Marina, which is awesome.
The driver was so nice to take us directly to Song of the Sea.
So now we're officially back to our boat! Woohoo! Look, Song of the Sea. Oh yeah, first steps. Taking off the shoes. Getting barefoot. Oh, look at it! Yay! Look!
Look, we are being welcomed back by a rainbow. If feels so amazing to be back. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time!